There is a carriage rattle that takes me to my doom. A swish of taffeta skirts and a lantern in the dark, less a ragtag band than a rich one, swimming in gin and sin and secrets, 3 years of black sheep exile. Cuckold from a gilded cage, nights in the museum with whispered promises and sapphire extravagances. Cairo was still hot in October. Tempered with champagne fizz and dark crawls into tomb spaces. What a mistake. To put my faith in ancient things when my future was right there, but I'm learning to cope. And a million miles from sand dunes, I am digging under garden memorials, reading other people's journals, following other people's ghosts. We do a lot of chasing spirits. Nervous souls emboldened by a hip flask and a big ego, but flowery language can't compete with a woman's mind, silver-fingered and green of thumb. We prove our worth on a February weekend. I take telephone calls from liars, back myself into library corners. I have never wanted to leap out of a window more for a chance to survive, and survive we do. We smear blood on the lintels, hoping death will pass us over. I call in favours that would mar a reputation, but no one who hears me live to tell the tale. There's a theme developing. Sanguine arrows on the floor points to a hero's last resort. A shadow promises to meet me again, and we do this again and again. Fresh faces with post-war eyes, always crossing paths, always pissing off some higher power, always walking into trouble, and across the other side, guilt-ridden shell at the top of the stairs. Barely looks me in the eye as he beckons. I say she wouldn't have stayed if she didn't like you. He says, I don't know if you've met me, but I am a walking excuse for a haunting. A corpse robber clinging onto what was never mine. I can't stop escaping the ending every time, and I know how that feels. I know what it is like to be screaming in the face of survival, staring down a murderer, begging him to take me first, but crooked, lipless grin tells me an easy sacrifice is no sacrifice at all. 12 dead and dying in a country hall. We beg the gods for help so hard we forget to look at the writing on the wall. If only the touch of my lover's hand was enough to sustain me. But I will never be satisfied with a borrowed ring on borrowed time. When will I convince myself that I am more than my attachment to other people? Until then, I still search for ways to bring myself back from your grave. The sands of time sweeping over my bad decisions. She says, tell me what I stole for you. And I want to say the will to live again, but I don't. Because it would be untrue. No matter how much I wish it were otherwise, so I tell her what she wants to hear. And I spend inherited money on pre-owned curios, inching ever closer to the knife I have to sink. And of course I know what's right. Of course I do. But I also know I'd do just about anything for you.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, we'd appreciate it if you could hit the like button, if you could hit the subscribe button, and make sure to ring that bell icon so you don't miss any updates from us in the future. If you want to go that extra mile and support us a little further, we do have a Patreon channel with loads of exclusive goodies, and you can sign up for as little as $1 a month. We appreciate your help, guys, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.